Hello, friends. Last week we talked about something that's super important with your business, and that is making sure that we take time for reflection. This week we're going to talk about the other balanced part of that scale, and we're going to talk about rest. Not collapsing on the couch, the end of a 12-hour day kind of rest, but real rest that helps you come back stronger. I am a business owner. I am a mom that works over 40 hours a week. I am a mom to 3 boys, even though only one of them lives at my house. And I am a wife that also has responsibilities to take care of the house and help my husband with cooking, prepping meals, and those kinds of things. So I understand what it means to be busy. And we as moms spend time doing so much. We work, home, family, goals, those kinds of things. And the rest feels like a guilty pleasure instead of a business strategy. And I'm going to tell you right now that rest is a business strategy. Burnout doesn't build businesses. Rested women do. And today I want to show you how to build real breaks into your weekly rhythm, not as an afterthought, but as part of your plan, because sometimes we have to put us in our planners. And I don't know about you, but sometimes when I'm making my long list for the day, I do not put me in there. If it happens to happen, then I do it, right? And I know that I am not alone in this because there are many people out there who work until they are exhausted. Now, I shared a post on Tuesday, and then I had some things happen at work. We lost a couple of people, and then we had some people out on emergency and vacation. And so I was kind of on my own. And so you'll notice that there were no posts happening on Wednesday and Thursday or Saturday and Sunday. And I was trying to rest when I got home. And I had to use the analogy that a business coach of mine, Janelle, mentions, and that is let the balls bounce. And I'm sorry, friends, but that just happened to be my business page because I could not fit one more thing in my list. So when we talk about rest, we are talking about resetting our decision-making muscle. When we skipping rest, we're skipping sleep. Or we are skipping the ability to function properly. So I want you guys to think about this question. When's the last time that you stepped away from your planner, your inbox, your to-do list, and you didn't feel guilty about it? Let me tell you that while I was away and not posting, I was feeling pretty guilty about it. Why? Because I pride myself on being consistent and showing up for my business. And by the end of the week, I just had to realize, I am one person. I am a business running one person trying to run an entire business. And I know many of you can understand that example as well. I want you to write down one moment in the day when you usually hit a wall. For me, it is usually after lunch. I'm pretty good about working in the morning, even though I'm not a morning person. That's usually when I'm the most focused. And then I want you to think about one simple reset that they could schedule in that particular moment. So for me, after lunch, what could I do? I'm usually at work, so I spend a lot of time just kind of people watching and watching what's happening for my rest, let my brain kind of relax for the day. But some other things that you could do is taking a short walk. You could journal. You could just have a quiet 10 minutes. That's kind of what mine is. When I get back from lunch, it's usually pretty quiet. Sometimes I get a little busy, but it's the lunch hour, and so there's me and one other person in the facility at the same time. And I want you guys to think about how to actually plan those particular pauses, because they don't necessarily happen by accident. They happen when we put them in there on purpose. So you can plan recovery the same way that you plan work. You open your weekly layout with the intention to find some white space. And I use a rapid log, which I'm going to show you here in a little bit. And so my rest is a little bit different than, say, somebody else who's actually planning out some time in their day. But I want you to leave room around meetings, around calls, around projects. You can also include it as your Pomodoro, making sure that you give yourself a little bit of extra time. So instead of filling every single inch of your planner, leave white space for you to catch your breath. That blank space is where your brain gets to rest. So I want you to circle one daily task that drains your energy. I want you to circle one task that energizes you. And I want you to use that info next week when you are thinking about designing your schedule and how you can do it. So I already mentioned that I use a rapid log. And so I'm going to show you really quickly how I incorporate some me time into my daily schedule. So you will notice that there are some days that I have that are a little bit crazier than others. I know I have talked about rapid logging in the past, so I'm going to actually bring you guys into my rapid log today and see what that looks like. My rapid log starts with let me get to a weekly layout here. Not necessarily a weekly layout. My rapid log starts with a weekly calendar. I list out my top 3, what activities I have going for the day, and then usually a pretty long list. From there, I do a daily layout. So what is happening on that particular day, and my weeks run Sunday to Saturday. So my to-do list, what did I get done? Then I do a little bit of journaling. This is my evening routine. It is my evening reset. Sometimes if it's the middle of the day and I'm having a really stressful day, I will journal. You just won't ever see it because it will get covered up by paper. I do add photos into my layouts too, because sometimes I just need that reminder of the things that make me do the things I do, right? And then I start the next day. So here's Monday. These are my activities for the day. These are my to-do lists. I did a little bit of journaling. Now, one of the things that I've started adding in is Tool of 12 has this thing called the Journal Project. It is journal prompts on a theme, and you use those themes to kind of write and answer and journal. And it allows me to get out of my head some days. So you can kind of see what this looks like. And this is how I do my planning. I'm skipping that page. That's journal stuff. How I do my planning on a weekly basis. I really dive into doing all of this on a daily making sure that I do my weekly review, which I've showed you before. This is all how I manage to get a little bit of me time and a little bit of rest and relaxation into my daily plan. So for me, it's very, very important to add this in throughout the course of the day so that I make sure that I'm taking rest breaks. And not everybody's rest looks different or looks the same. Sometimes you're going to do something physical. Maybe you'll stretch, you'll walk. Maybe you're a Grey's Anatomy fan and you're dance it out, whatever the case may be. Maybe it is a mental break and you are taking a digital detox during lunch. You don't open your phone. You turn off notifications for an hour. Maybe it's an emotional one. For me, that's where my rest lies. That's journaling through stress or using something like the Journal Project to take me out of the current situation. Maybe it's creative. This is also something that I like to do, putting stickers, playing with washi tape, doodling. I do a lot of drawing and doodling in my planner as well, especially with stencils. It makes it very, very easy. So real rest doesn't always mean stillness. It means doing what restores you, brings you back to the energy level that you want to be able to do. So what kind of break do you need most right now? Do you need a physical break, a mental break, emotional, creative? Please take a few minutes and answer that in the comments below. I would love to hear what your kind of emotion or what your kind of break is. And I just want to reiterate that rest supports productivity. When we take time to rest our brain, we give ourselves the capacity to do more with it. You can plan your rest time by making those blank spaces in your planner places for you to take a breath and relax and become the best part of you that you can be. Use your planner for things like journaling and sharing what happened in your day. Print out some pictures, even if it's on some on some printer paper, to add into your journal or your planner, so that you can really look at what you've accomplished, what you do as a mom, a wife, a business owner throughout the course of the day. Remember, rest isn't necessarily a reward for getting it all done. It's the reason you'll be ready to do it again tomorrow. Now, I want to tell you guys, I do have my next Cannin Plannin workshop coming up at the end of this month. The sneak peek will, or not the sneak peek, the doors will be open to the plan in place. But if you are in a position right now where you need a little bit of extra support, there's always a side door. You can email at wendy@canninplannin.com and I can get you the link to join us in the plan in place early if you need a little bit of extra support, or if you just want to talk it out with me, I would be happy to do that as well. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for Game Plan Monday, and I will see you all soon. Bye, friends.